is scheduled for one fall and is for the European Championship.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Friday Night All-Star. I am your host, Infinite Fantasy, and we're live here at Glasgow, Scotland. And we're going to be opening our second show for the European Tour with the European Championship match. And here comes the challenger, Hook, who won the first contender match last Wednesday on Brawl. This heavy-hitting, brawling-style athlete from Manhattan, New York, is walking down the aisle here at Glasgow, Scotland, with only one goal in mind: to come out of Scotland tonight as the Grand Tour Wrestling European Champion, as he is about to challenge the Russian gladiator, Armstrong. And here he is, folks, the European Champion, the Russian gladiator, Armstrong, one of the most dedicated, most focused athletes in pro wrestling today. Trained as an Olympic wrestler, this man knows no bounds when it comes to his technical prowess. He is a machine, programmed for one purpose: to win, to compete in the squared circle. And now he is about to compete, defending the European Championship against Hook, here for our opening match for Friday Night All-Star. And here comes Andre entering the ring. The traditional wiping of the boots before he gets into this competition here tonight. The focus of this man is completely unparalleled. Hook will have to use every trick he's ever learned if he's going to come out champion tonight.
Introducing the challenger from Manhattan, New York, weighing in at 203 pounds, Cook. And his opponent from Moscow, Russia, weighing in at 264 pounds, the European Champion, the Russian gladiator, Armstrong.
You can hear the crowd coming off their seats, completely on their feet for this European Championship match, as we're about to open up Friday Night All-Star. The referee showing Hook what's on the line here tonight, showing him the prize if he can defeat Armstrong. Hook looks ready. Andre looks ready. The referee is ready, and here comes the bell for tonight's opening match. And a clothesline by Hook, starting off strong against Armstrong. And there's those heavy-hitting style, that boxing style of Hook, already gaining the advantage in this championship match. Andre with a quick knee to the face, getting a reversal on Hook, and it seems the tables turn as Andre's matching Hook's aggression, slamming him into the ring. And there's a Russian gladiator driving his knee right into the face. Hook quick on his feet as he goes for the leg sweep. An immediate counter by Andre Armstrong. And there's a huge stomp to the back of the head of Hook. Andre now looking for a submission. Oh no! He's looking to dislocate the shoulder. He's not looking for a tap out. He's looking to dissect his opponent here. Hook quickly getting underneath. And a huge right hand by the challenger as he goes for the pin. One. And an immediate kick out by Andre Armstrong. Still very early in this European Championship match. The two men now grappling up. There's Hook going for an armbar onto Andre Armstrong. Nearly bringing the European champion to his knees. And a quick reversal by Andre Armstrong. That Olympic wrestling coming into play here. And now Andre having Hook in the corner here. And look at him just smashing the top of his head into that turnbuckle. Andre Armstrong making his way to the top rope, waiting for Hook to get onto his feet. And a drop kick by the European champion, Andre Armstrong. He comes off the ropes. Huge leg drop. That's over 200 pounds of weight being dropped onto Hook. And now the same amount of weight coming off for a frog splash, but nobody home as Hook rolls out of the way at the last second. Now Hook on top. Torno's devastating right hands. And it seems Hook was attempting a belly-to-belly suplex. Andre Armstrong stopping his tracks. Thus far, both champion and challenger seem to be very evenly matched in this singles match. And look at Hook throwing Andre Armstrong over the top rope. And it looks like Hook's about to do something very reckless here as he's on that top turnbuckle. He's going to jump right out the ring with a cross-body splash. And now I got both men fighting ringside in this championship match. You can just see that outstanding strength by Hook. He doesn't have a lot of build to him, but what he does have definitely counts as all muscle on him. Lean and efficient. That's what Hook likes to call himself. And that's Andre Armstrong throwing Hook into the walkway there, and Andre Armstrong making his way back into the ring, taunting his opponent. And now Andre Armstrong in pursuit right after Hook. The two men fighting on the walkway. Andre Armstrong throwing Andre Armstrong right into the ring apron as he himself enters the ring. The championship cannot change hands outside the ring. And here comes Hook with a fisherman suplex. And here he is going for the arm lock. Andre Armstrong in the middle of the ring. And look at that technical wrestling. That Olympic style training. Andre Armstrong using to his advantage to get out of that hold. And what a clothesline, nearly knocking Hook's head off. Here comes the pin. 1, 2, and a kick out by Hook. Andre Armstrong nearly had it there. That was a very, very dangerous clothesline there. And here comes Hook out of nowhere with the sleeper hold. He's got the European champion in the middle of the ring. There's no way for him to reach for the rope. And once again, the Russian gladiator able to counter. Now he's got the challenger on his shoulders. The fireman's carry. Hook with a reversal using a reverse DDT. The kick to the midsection. Andre Armstrong goes for the Irish whip. Hook coming off the ropes. And a German suplex by the European champion, Andre Armstrong. Andre making his way to the second rope. Hook completely knocked down. And it looks like Andre now has other plans as he goes for a massive power bomb. Here comes the pin. 1, 2, 3, and Andre Armstrong retains the European Championship.
Here is your winner, and still European champion, the Russian gladiator, Andre Armstrong.
Another successful title defense by the Russian gladiator, Andre Armstrong, will be leaving Scotland as he continues his reign as the European champion. Coming up next, the Women's United States Championship, as Jamie Hayter is about to challenge the U.S. Women's Champion, Amber Charlotte. This all started last week when Andre Armstrong had a one-on-one grudge match against the mighty Hercules after suffering a defeat from the mighty God. Amber Charlotte came out as her and Hercules went to double team Andre Armstrong. However, it was Jamie Hayter, a former substitute tag team partner, who came out to Andre's aid when Jamie Hayter got a qualifying match for a fatal four-way to lead up to the Women's European Championship match coming next week. She was screwed out of her opportunity when Amber Charlotte came out to interfere in the match. As a result, Charles Elliott has made it official. Jamie Hayter has laid down the challenge, and Amber Charlotte has accepted. As a result, Charles Elliott, the director of GTW, has made it official that Amber Charlotte's United States Women's Championship will be on the line. Ladies and gentlemen, Jamie Hayter, Amber Charlotte, right here on Friday Night All-Star.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall and is for the Women's United States Championship.
And here comes the challenger, Jamie Hayter, a big star in both the Indies and AEW, but has recently been making a huge name for herself here in Grand Tour Wrestling. She was screwed out of her opportunity to get into the fatal four-way match next week for the Women's European Championship. As the consolation prize goes, she now has a chance to become the United States Women's Champion. All she has to do is get to Amber Charlotte here tonight. And here she is, the Women's United States Champion, the Warrior Princess, Amber Charlotte. The woman who screwed Jamie Hayter out of her European Championship opportunity. And now she's about to pay her back tenfold, putting her own title on the line. The tension between these two women is so thick you can cut it with a knife. And you can see the focus on Amber Charlotte. Her mind isn't set on just defending her title. She's here to hurt Jamie Hayter. She is here to torture this individual. She will not be satisfied unless she can absolutely end Jamie Hayter's career here tonight, as decreed by the old gods.
Introducing the challenger. From England, Jane Hayter. And her opponent, from Adelaide, Australia, the Women's United States Champion, the Warrior Princess, Amber Charlotte.
What a night we're having tonight. First, we've opened with the European Championship on the line, and now for the women's division, the United States title is up for grabs here at Glasgow, Scotland. One of the rare opportunities that the United States Championship is defended off of United States soil. Both women prepare as this championship match begins, and here comes the bell. Amber Charlotte going for a clothesline. Jamie Hayter doing her homework, dodging, knowing how Amber Charlotte likes to start off her matches, and grapples up with the Warrior Princess. And here's Jamie Hayter going for a headlock onto Amber Charlotte. She has that locked in tight. But to no avail, Amber Charlotte using her sheer power and size to her advantage, that super strength. And now the U.S. champion, Amber Charlotte, taking the advantage in this championship match. Jamie Hayter grapples up. And an elbow by Jamie Hayter. Here's Amber Charlotte with a knee to the gut. And once again, the two women grappling up in the middle of the squared circle. Here's Jamie Hayter pushing Amber Charlotte into the corner. There's the referee looking to break him up, and a cheap shot by Amber Charlotte. Jamie Hayter not giving up though, as once again she moves into the grapple. And Amber Charlotte pushing the challenger into the corner once more. The referee once more trying to bring apart. And once more, Amber Charlotte with a cheap shot as she Spartan kicks her opponent into the corner. And look at that flying knee by the Warrior Princess, followed by a bulldog, but a reversal by Jamie Hayter. And the challenger throwing Amber Charlotte outside the ring. Jamie Hayter now going to work on Amber Charlotte. She goes for that right hook and that left hook. A kick to the midsection. And a suplex on the outside mat by Jamie Hayter. The belt is on the line, but that is not why these two women are fighting. This is, between these two, it's more of a personal matter. The belt is just a consolation prize for Jamie Hayter, and just one more thing for Amber Charlotte to fight for here tonight. It was in London, England, where Jamie Hayter on Wednesday night laid the challenge down to Amber Charlotte. Originally, it was supposed to be a grudge match. Director Charles Elliott said if you two are going to get in the ring, the belt is going to be on the line. And here goes Amber Charlotte throwing an elbow to Jamie Hayter. Here comes Amber Charlotte moving across the ring. Another flying knee by the U.S. champion. Amber Charlotte now going for the pin. 1, 2, and a kick out by Jamie Hayter. Amber Charlotte going for another pin. She's using the ropes as leverage. The referee caught her though. And here goes Jamie Hayter. Tombstone pile driver onto the United States Women's Champion, Amber Charlotte. And now Jamie Hayter sizing her up. And a quick reversal by Amber Charlotte. And using that momentum, Amber Charlotte brings Jamie Hayter down full force. She's measuring her up. And an underhook DDT by Amber Charlotte. A quick kick out by Jamie Hayter. And a leg scissors hold But Amber Charlotte trying to squeeze the head of Jamie Hayter. Jamie Hayter able to gator roll her way out of it. And Jamie Hayter with the first strike. Amber Charlotte with the receipt. And now these two women going back and forth in a game of fisticuffs. And an open hand chop to the chest by Hayter. A receipt by Amber Charlotte. And they're going back and forth. Amber Charlotte now inviting Jamie Hayter. And here comes the counterattack by the U.S. champion. These two women having a test of endurance and strength, and now the two just straight out beating the hell out of each other, going to an all-out brawl. And Jamie Hayter now rolling Amber Charlotte to a pin. 1, 2, a kick out by Amber Charlotte. Jamie Hayter goes against the ropes and knocks Amber Charlotte outside the ring. Jamie Hayter now on the top rope. And here comes a frog splash. Amber Charlotte able to move out of the way. And now Amber Charlotte making her way to the top rope as well. Jamie Hayter intercepting, reversing with a power bomb right off the top rope. The grapple up. Jamie Hayter attempting to go for an Irish whip. Amber Charlotte fighting back with those elbows to the ribs. He goes for a drop kick. And a clothesline by Jamie Hayter, nearly taking Amber's head off. Here comes the pin for the title. 1, 2, and a kick out by Amber Charlotte. This championship match continues. There's a huge power bomb by Jamie Hayter. He's pulling out all the stops to try and win the gold here tonight. And a huge right hand by the challenger. And what a reversal by Jamie Hayter. Amber Charlotte going for that momentum move again. Jamie Hayter with a quick reversal. Now throwing Amber Charlotte into the corner. And German suplex. Amber Charlotte now sizing her up. You can see the bruises on her face. She's going for that clothesline. Amber Charlotte reversing though. Scoop body slam by the champion. And here comes the pin. 1, 2, a kick out by Jamie Hayter. Amber Charlotte's not done yet. She's now sizing her up. Looks like she's going to go for the finisher move. But no, Hayter sweeping her off her feet. Hayter now going for the finisher herself. Clothesline. And here it is for the title. 1, 2. And at the very last second, Amber Charlotte gets that shoulder up. And now the challenger, Jamie Hayter, wondering what she's going to have to do to put the champion away. That might have been her one opportunity there. Hayter, keep it on the offense. Keep it on the offensive. Suplex into the turnbuckles. And now here they are on the apron. Amber Charlotte getting slammed right onto the apron in the hands of Jamie Hayter. And there's a spike suplex by Jamie Hayter on the outside mat. The only thing protecting Amber Charlotte from that hard concrete floor is that very thin layer of mat surrounding the ring. And look at Hayter throwing Amber Charlotte into the steel stairs. And here she comes on the top turnbuckle. Amber Charlotte might be in trouble. High flying move by the challenger. And Amber Charlotte gets out of the way. Jamie Hayter hitting nothing but floor from 15 feet in the air. Reversing the Irish whip. These two women beating the hell out of each other here at ringside. And look at Jamie Hayter just lifting all that dead weight into a German suplex. Hayter now back in the ring. And she's getting ready, flying out of the ring, nosedive, but nobody home as Amber Charlotte sidesteps out of the way. Amber Charlotte with the immediate reversal, Jamie Hayter with an immediate reversal onto Amber Charlotte. And here comes Hayter running across the ring. Once again, nobody home. Amber Charlotte evading the move. And a huge uppercut right into the jaw of Jamie Hayter. And Hayter again countering with a reverse DDT. And here she goes. She's warming up for another clothesline. Amber Charlotte sees it coming now. And here comes the pin by the champion. 1, 2, 3. Amber Charlotte retains the United States Championship.
Here is your winner, and still Women's United States Champion, the Warrior Princess, Amber Charlotte.
Jamie Hayter gave it everything she could. She fought as hard as she possibly can. But at the end of the day, Amber Charlotte is the Warrior Princess for a reason. And she remains the Women's United States Champion. Coming up next, we have the Intergender Tag Team Titles on the line. As Castor Black and Amy Zero, the Wolfpack challenge Damian Maximus and Rebecca Troy, the Olympians. Intergender Tag Team Titles on the line next, here on Friday Night All-Star. And here comes the Wolfpack, the team of King, Castor Black, and Amy Zero. These two dominating the Intergender Tag Team division ever since their debut here in Grand Tour Wrestling. They have quickly risen from undercard to midcard and has even been main eventing our last few shows, defeating the team of Dio Sebastian and The Witch, also known as The Fallen, in 2 consecutive matches, thus earning their spot as the #1 contenders for the Intergender Tag Team Titles. And these two are as brutal as they get, as aggressive as they get, and they're here to mark their territory by winning the Tag Team Titles. And here comes the Intergender Tag Team Champions, the team of Damian Maximus and Rebecca Troy. Together they form the Olympians, a tag team division, part of the Old God faction. Ever since Damian Maximus, formerly known as Damian Elliott, had joined the Old Gods, it was Hercules that decreed that him and Rebecca Troy would form the Olympians. That these two would become the Intergender Tag Team Champions, and so they have. And it seems ever since becoming champions together, ever since forming their partnership, Damian and Rebecca have become quite fond of each other, growing closer and closer every match they have. And I'm sure these two have one very specific thing in common. They love winning. They love wearing the gold around their waist, almost as much as they love themselves. And I'm sure these two will do anything it takes to hold on to the tag team titles here tonight.
The following is a tag team match set for one fall and is for the Mixed Tag Team Championship. Introducing the challengers, the King, Pastor Black, and Amy Zero, the Wolf Pack. And their opponents, the Mixed Tag Team Champions, Damian Maximus and the Olympian Rebecca Troy, the Olympians.
And there they are, the Intergender Tag Team Champions, the Olympians. Rebecca Troy and Damian Maximus, both members of the Old Gods. They're going to hand over the ref, confident in themselves that those belts will be returned to them by the end of the night. And here comes the bell. Castor Black going for a flying elbow. Damian Maximus rolling out of the way. And it's Castor Black sweeping off his feet, going for a pin, and immediate kick out by Damian Maximus. And look at the king of the Wolfpack, Castor Black, going for those hard headbutts right into Maximus. He throws Maximus into the corner, and just look at the size difference between these two. Castor Black, so much more powerful, so much bigger than Damian. So much more powerful. And look at Damian Maximus. Look at that brave. He's going for that reverse Boston Crab, trying to gain that momentum, but Castor Black just too strong for him. You see that Damian Maximus is wrestling very smart right now, going for that net breaker. He's not going to be able to attack him head on. And now here's Rebecca Troy in the ring. The Olympians going for a double Irish whip, followed by a double hip toss. Rebecca Troy not concerned about out-muscling Castor Black. She's going to rely on her agility here. And Castor Black makes the tag to Amy Zero. And now we have the two women in the ring as Rebecca Troy comes in with a cross-body splash onto Amy Zero. There's a huge slap by Rebecca Troy. Amy Zero with the receipt. Spartan kicking Rebecca Troy into the corner. She attempts to choke her with the boot. Rebecca Troy with an immediate counter. You can hear from the crowd's reaction that the Wolfpack, Amy Zero and Castor Black are the favorite team to win here. But don't let that take it away. Rebecca Troy and Damian Maximus are very formidable opponents. This is Rebecca Troy's first match, coming back from her injury after her very brutal underground match, to say the least, against the Witch. a few weeks back at New Year's All-Star. The match ended up lasting an entire hour. Rebecca Troy and the Witch were beating the hell out of each other with every foreign object they could find around the ring. There were no ropes to hold them back. It was a complete bloody mess, and has left Rebecca Troy hospitalized for weeks. And now, with her return to the ring, she's defending the Tag Team Championship. Damian Maximus tagging himself in, now getting the ring with Castor Black. We're back to the men, going at it one-on-one. And once again, Castor Black using that sheer power to his advantage. Damian Maximus fighting with sheer moxie. Here comes the double axe handle. Castor Black rolling him into a pin. 1, 2, and a kick out by Damian Maximus. They grapple up. Here comes Castor Black throwing him against the ropes. And a Samoan drop by King Castor Black. And we got the werewolf slowly dissecting, taking apart this Olympian. And here comes Damian Maximus, has him on the ropes. And what a devastating DDT by Damian Maximus. And right now we got Rebecca Troy now in the ring with Castor Black. Here comes Amy Zero for the attack. Spear by Rebecca Troy. And here comes Rebecca Troy looking for that figure 4 leg lock. She's got Amy Zero in the middle of the ring. And look at her bridging that body to gain that leverage. Castor Black getting involved to break up the submission. Rebecca Troy had Amy Zero in the middle of the ring. No doubt she would have tapped out if not for the interference of her partner, King Castor Black. And now Rebecca Troy making the tag to Damian Maximus. And here is Maximus working on the weakened Amy Zero. And here he is, wrenching the head of his opponent. Also still to come, we have our main event coming up as Hercules will be going one-on-one with the Rattlesnake himself, Stone Cold Steve Austin. That'll be our main event here tonight. Not only that, but we have word that we're scheduled to hear from Steven Dynamite to address the crowd here tonight. And here comes Rebecca Troy coming off the second rope, frog splash onto Amy Zero. Here comes a kick to the midsection. Super kick by Amy Zero, taking down Rebecca Troy. She goes and makes a tag to King Castor Black. And just look at the sheer size difference. Rebecca Troy somehow managing to knock Castor Black right off his feet. Here comes the Irish Whip. Castor Black now in the corner. Before Rebecca Troy can make the tag, Castor Black gets the elbow in. And a reverse spike pile driver by the King Castor Black. Now making his way to Amy Zero, tagging her in, and we have the two women in this intergender title tag team match. And then we still have our main event to come as Hercules will be going one-on-one with Stone Cold Steve Austin. And after this match, we'll be having Stephen Dynamite making his way to the ring to address the crowd here at Glasgow, Scotland, regarding the events that transpired Wednesday night on Brawl. And here comes Rebecca Troy, once again locking in that figure 4 leg lock. She's got her in the middle of the ring, nowhere to go. And again, Castor Black with the interference with a lariat takedown on Rebecca Troy. That massive size and power. Rebecca Troy saying she has enough, tagging in Damian Maximus. The Olympians thus far have been dominating this championship match. And anything tonight's exciting. Oh, look at that. Look at that power by Amy Zero, using some of that werewolf DNA that she claims to have. Incredible feat of strength, lifting Damian Maximus like that. And here comes Amy Zero with the riptide onto Damian Maximus. 1, 2, but Rebecca Troy breaks up the count. Everything tonight's exciting. Next Sunday, not this Sunday, but next Sunday, we have our pay-per-view event as we have GTW, the Grand Rumble, live in Greece. Our main event, a 30-person Grand Rumble match, an over-the-top rope elimination. We start off with 2 competitors. Every 2 minutes, a new competitor will enter the ring. You eliminate your opponent by throwing them over the top rope. The winner of the match, the last one left in the ring, will become the #1 contender for the Grand Tour Championship, headlining our big show, WrestleNova. An incredible counter by Rebecca Troy. Damian Maximus out of the ring. Rebecca Troy on her own here as she cartwheels her way into a clothesline, taking down King Castor Black. And here comes Rebecca Troy, going for that figure 4 on the King Castor Black. She's looking to make this werewolf tap out. And here comes Amy Zero getting in the ring. And Rebecca Troy stopping her in her tracks. DDT taking out Castor Black's partner. Amy Zero now out of the picture. This could be Rebecca Troy's chance as she tags in Damian Maximus, looking to finish him off. And here comes Damian Maximus, placing Castor Black in a Boston Crab. And look at that power by Castor Black. Still able to torque his body just enough to get himself out of the hold, kicking Damian Maximus back. And a DDT by Castor Black as he goes for the pin. 1, and another breakup by Rebecca Troy, once again saving the titles. Castor Black once again tags in Amy Zero. He goes for the Irish Whip. Maximus reverses. Amy Zero grabbing the ropes to break the momentum. An amazing display of technical knowledge by Amy Zero, bringing Castor Black back into the match. And look at Castor just working on that shoulder of Damian Maximus. Maximus quickly sweeping the leg, thinking like the Olympian that he is. And a divine judgment by Damian Maximus. Amy Zero immediately breaking up the count. But if not for Castor Black's tag team partner, that would have been the match right there. Very little does someone ever kick out of his finisher move, the Divine Judgment. And it looks like Damian Maximus setting him up. A second Divine Judgment by Maximus. Here comes the pin. 1, 2. A kick out by Castor Black. One of the rare times someone manages to kick out. Castor Black getting the tag to Amy Zero. That was almost stitched for the Wolfpack right there, as Castor Black suffered not one, but two divine judgments. Now Rebecca Troy throwing Amy Zero against the ropes. Amy Zero kicking the back of the leg. Super kick by Amy Zero. And look at those stumps by Amy Zero. Corkscrew by Rebecca Troy. And Zero has no choice but to roll out of the ring. Rebecca Troy follows her outside. Amy Zero setting a trap for her though. And a corkscrew by Rebecca Troy. And she goes throwing her opponent back into the ring. And there's Troy with the submission. Reversal by Zero. Amy Zero desperately fighting back, getting that drop kick in. She goes for the Irish whip. Troy off the ropes. Tilt-a-whirl slam. And once again, there's Amy Zero using that power. Rebecca Troy doing all she can to fight back. And there she is, driving the back of that neck into the knee of Rebecca Troy, followed by a super kick. Rebecca Troy now tagging in Damian Maximus. And here comes a punt by Damian Maximus, now making his way to the top rope. He's going for that high-risk maneuver. I see I just got a follow from an unknown user. It's not displaying a name, but whoever you are, I appreciate it. Thank you for the follow. 100%. Definitely appreciate you. Now back onto our match. Amy Zero looks like she's going for the submission hold on Rebecca Troy. And it seems both legal women are completely laid out. Rebecca Troy in the middle of the ring. Amy Zero at ringside. Rebecca Troy coming outside in pursuit of the challenger. The two women now fighting in front of the announcer's desk. And here she is, just squeezing the head with her thighs. Throwing an elbow on the top of the head. Rebecca Troy measuring her up. And a spear by Rebecca Troy. And here she comes with that figure four leg lock. It won't do her much good outside the ring though. Falls count, only count inside the ring. Amy Zero now making her way back inside. And she's drawing her attention to Damian Maximus now with a huge drop kick. And here's Rebecca Troy here inside. However, her partner now taken out of the equation. This could be the Wolfpack's chance to take home the tag team gold. Amy Zero making the tag to the fresher of the two, Keaton Castor Black. And there's a wolf spike by Castor Black. He's making his way to the top turnbuckle. Front splash. And here comes the pin. 1, 2. A kick out by Rebecca Troy at the last second. That was their chance to win right there with Damian Maximus knocked outside the ring. Now Castle Black calling to the crowd, waiting for Rebecca Troy to get to her feet. And a huge devastating clothesline by Castor Black. And it comes off the top rope. Moonsault. Here comes the pin. 1, 2, 3. And we have new Intergender Tag Team Champions. I repeat, we have new champions.
Here are your winners. Amy Zero. And the King, Castor Black. The Wolf Pack.
And here we are. New Intergender Tag Team Champions have just been crowned. The Wolfpack, Amy Zero, and Castor Black have dethroned the Olympians. Don't go anywhere. When we return, we're going to be seeing Steven Dynamite come out to the ring to address the crowd about the events that have transpired on Wednesday against Dio Sebastian. And then our main event as the mighty Hercules goes one-on-one with the Texas Rattlesnake, Stone Cold Steve Austin. That's all to come right here on Friday Night All-Star. Hey, I saw you talking to Dynamite on your way in. What was that about? I couldn't rent a car from London, so Steve offered me a ride to Glasgow. A ride, huh? You know, I thought we were going to travel together. What happened with that? Well, you weren't not exactly approachable that night, so I decided to go on my own. You look like you need time to cool off. Right. But Steve is approachable. You know, he was about to hit me first. That's why I had to fight him. But he didn't. You hit him first. Oh, come on, give me a break with that. He was even in the middle of saying that line, "You have been chosen," that he always says before he attacks someone. Half the time he walks away when he says that. Oh, so you're on his side now. What? Listen, Amanda, Dynamite is dangerous, and he is manipulative. He already turned my sister against me. I don't want you being around him. Excuse me? But I'm not your sister, Dio. You do not get to tell me what to do. You know what? It's funny, because he never once brought you up unless it was to apologize to me. And I still defended you in the car. He did say something, though. He said that you were extremely controlling of your sister, the witch. Then he asked me, what makes me believe you will not try the same thing in our relationship? And you know what, Dio? I think you just proved his point. Amanda, come on, don't be that way. Sorry, Dio. But I think I made a mistake. I thought you were a different person. I have a title match next week at the Grand Rumble. And you know what? Steve is right. I should be focused on that, not on this drama that you've created. I think we should go our separate ways. So you're breaking up with me? One day I hope you wake up and you realize you're doing this to yourself. And here goes Steven Dynamite making his way to the ring, and Dio Sebastian attacking him from behind. Steven Dynamite and the Witch were coming out to the ring to address to the crowd what happened on Wednesday when it came to that brawl between Steven Dynamite and Dio Sebastian, and it looks like we're about to have round 2 over here as Dio Sebastian attacking Steven Dynamite from behind. We have an official out here. He's attempting to break it up, but it looks like this might be a little bit out of the referee's control as these two go at it. I want to remind everyone, this is not a match right now. This is a straight-on fight these two are having. Steven Dynamite and Dio expressing their grievances towards each other on Wednesday and end up getting into a fight, nearly breaking the announcer's table. And if you just saw what happened backstage just moments ago, Amanda Price had just broken up with Dio Sebastian. And it looks like he's taking that aggression out on Steven Dynamite. Steven Dynamite, who is the one accusing Dio of being controlling over his sister, being controlling over his girlfriend Amanda Price. And now Dynamite fighting back with a helicopter spin onto the Grand Tour champion, Dio Sebastian. And they're grappling up. Here comes Dio coming for a suplex. And look at that size and power by the Grand Tour champion, the Demon, Dio Sebastian. As he's completely wrecking Steven Dynamite here. And now they're bringing the fight back inside the ring. There's a Hurricanrana by Dynamite. Dynamite coming off the ropes. Wheelbarrow DDT onto Dio Sebastian. It's all start out, and here comes Dio. Dio going for that choke slam. Choke slam onto Dynamite here. And look, he's trying to tear his head off right there. Dynamite slipping out. And here comes Steven Dynamite. Go for a face plant. A face buster, if you will. Here comes Dynamite rolling him over. No pins are going to be worth a damn in a street fight. And here comes Steven Dynamite tuning up the band. And he hits on the switch. No! Dynamite counters. Shoulder tackle by Dio Sebastian, countering the sweet chin music. I see Steven Dynamite completely in a daze. Dio Sebastian coming up the top row with a double axe handle. Dynamite countering with the punch. He throws Dio off the ropes. Mr. Irish Whip, Dio counters. And these two going all out against each other. These two are fighting like they're competing for Dio's title at this point. But it's not. And here comes the cycle cutter by Steven Dynamite on Dio Sebastian. You can just see how personal it is between these two. And look at Steven Dynamite putting in a one-legged Boston Crab. And the referee finally calling in more officials, separating these two. They're pulling Dio and Steven Dynamite apart after these two just went to an all-out fight in the middle of the ring. What was supposed to happen was Steven Dynamite and the Witch were supposed to meet in the ring. They were going to talk to the crowd together. They were going to address the crowd together exactly what was going on, what happened on Brawl when Dio and Steven Dynamite got into that confrontation. And then Dio, after being dumped by Amanda Price, decided to just run it out and attack Steven Dynamite. And this is 2 nights in a row where we had to have security come out and break up these two. Things are getting very out of hand between Dynamite and Dio Sebastian. Coming up next, though, we have our main event. The challenge was set on Brawl. Hercules going one-on-one with Stone Cold Steve Austin right here on All-Star. And I want to give everyone a quick reminder that next Sunday, January 20th, live in Greece, will be our next pay-per-view event, the Grand Rumble. In this event, we'll be having Stone Cold versus Jon Moxley for the World Heavyweight Championship.
From Athens, Greece, weighing in at 341 pounds, the mighty, unbreakable, indestructible Hercules!
Hercules making his way out to the ring. He had failed to win the #1 contender match and get his rematch against Jon Moxley. Jon Moxley, who had defeated him for the World Heavyweight title at Holiday Mayhem back on Christmas Day. And now Hercules trying to convince the director Charles Elliott into giving him a rematch. However, after losing to Stone Cold Steve Austin a week ago on Dystopia, all of his dreams are shattered. Charles Elliott said, I quote, "As long as I am director, you will never, ever have a championship match ever again." But the flip side to that is Hercules also has a no accountability clause in his contract. A little stipulation he got after holding Damian hostage months ago, making that one of his demands is he can no longer be fired. He has complete immunity in GTW. And now we have a director that refuses to give him a title shot. Hercules refusing to accept that answer, willing to destroy anything in his path in order to convince him to get said title shot. Stone Cold Steve Austin, who has earned his shot at Jon Moxley at the main event of Grand Rumble, has come out and said, I will not let you squander on the opportunity I already earned. And now here we are, Hercules versus Stone Cold for tonight's main event.
And his opponent, from Victoria, Texas, weighing in at 252 pounds, Stone Cold Steve Austin!
And here's the Texas Rattlesnake. The entire arena is exploding right now as Stone Cold Steve Austin is in the ring. Glasgow, Scotland is now the most exciting, most explosive place on earth. The Texas Rattlesnake, ready to kick some ass and drink some beer. And you can see he's coming in hot, completely on fire. Stone Cold is in here for one reason and one reason only, and he's ready to kick that false god's ass, Hercules. This will be Steve Austin's second match in GTW, also ironically his second match against Hercules, a rematch from when they faced off on Dystopia a week ago. And Stone Cold with a headlock, Hercules reversing the maneuver. And look at Hercules using that size of power, squeeze and trying to pop Steve Austin's head off like a grape. Next Sunday, GTW will be coming to Hercules' home country in Greece with a Grand Rumble, where Stone Cold Steve Austin will be challenging Jon Moxley for the World Heavyweight Championship. On top of that, we'll be having the Grand Rumble match. 30 competitors, both men and women, competing in an over-the-top rope elimination match. Every 2 minutes, a new competitor enters the ring. The last one inside will win the Grand Rumble and will become the #1 contender. Headlining, main eventing, WrestleNova for the Grand Tour Championship. And we got some chain wrestling going on between Hercules and Stone Cold. Both men very technical in the middle of the ring here. Hercules having that hold on very tightly. And a power slam by the mighty Hercules. Here comes Hercules making his way to the top rope. And here comes a high-risk maneuver by the mighty God as he does a flying clothesline, nearly knocking the Rattlesnake's head off. There's pin 1, 2, and Austin kicks out. And you know what Hercules is thinking. He's thinking that if he can defeat Steve Austin here tonight, that he can change Charles Elliott's mind, that he can claim that he has a spot for the World Heavyweight Championship instead of Stone Cold. For Hercules, this match means everything. They grapple up, a kick to the midsection as Hercules now sets them up for a power bomb. Oh no, what's he doing here? Face plant right into the top turnbuckle. Stone Cold seeing stars right now as Hercules choking the life out of the Texas Rattlesnake. Stone Cold rolling out of the ring to gain some distance. And a Superman punch by Hercules the moment Austin enters back in. There's the pin. 1, 2, and a kick out by Stone Cold Steve Austin. Hercules right across the ring. Clothesline, a counter by Stone Cold. And here's a DDT by Stone Cold Steve Austin. Those open hand chops. Stone Cold doing what he does best. Striking at Hercules, going for those body shots. Beating him to living hell. And here's Austin going for the pin. 1, 2, and a kick out by Hercules. Now the right hook by Steve Austin. And now both men outside the ring. Both of them fighting in front of our announcer's desk. And the referee starting the count out. And look at Stone Cold just beating the daylights out of Hercules. A single hoop given by the Texas Rattlesnake as he does a Stone Cold Stunner. Stone Cold Stunner right from our announcer's desk, making his way back into the ring. Steve Austin breaking up the count out. Looks like he wants to have a bigger opportunity to do more damage to Hercules as he throws him back into the ring. Steve Austin on the top rope. And a double axe handle by Stone Cold Steve Austin. And here goes Stone Cold with a second stunner onto Hercules. Could this be it? He's getting away from the ropes. Stone Cold going for the pin. 1, 2, a kick out by Hercules, getting the shoulder up. It's amazing. Hercules kicking out, not out of 1, but 2 Stone Cold Stunners. It looks like Stone Cold about to go for a third here. No, instead he's going for the Irish Whip. Looks like it was a time of belly to belly. Hercules just too strong, powerful. Hercules getting ready for his own finisher move. And here comes the God Spear. Hercules nearly breaking Stone Cold in half. Here comes the pin. And a kick out by Stone Cold Steve Austin. Now Hercules throwing him off the ropes. He goes under. And a Samoan drop by Hercules. He makes his way to the top rope. There goes Hercules with a top elbow drop. Nobody home. Stone Cold able to roll out of the way. And a huge uppercut by Hercules. Now with a strike combo, taking down the Texas Rattlesnake. Hercules coming off the ropes. And a big boot taking down his opponent. And here it comes. He's charging up. Superman punch by Hercules. Austin is down. I repeat, Austin is down. And Hercules, once again, setting him up. The God Spear breaking Austin in half. This could be all he needs. 1, 2, a kick out again by Stone Cold Steve Austin, who managed to kick out of 2 God Spears and a Superman punch. Hercules getting frustrated here. It's where anyone kicks out of a God Spear, let alone 2, and you can see just how angry Hercules is starting to become here. Now chasing Stone Cold outside the ring. There's an uppercut by Hercules. Look at him just driving those knees into the ribs of Stone Cold Steve Austin. And it looks like Hercules waiting for the count out here. Stone Cold knocked outside the ring. As soon as Hercules saw him get to his feet, he went to chase after him. That might have been his mistake, falling into Stone Cold's trap. And there's Stone Cold slamming Hercules right into the steel stairs. Clothesline by Steve Austin. We're now halfway through the count out. Austin needs to get himself back into the ring. But he's not thinking about the win. And he's inside. Hercules knocked out. And Stone Cold wins by a counter. Hercules not getting in time. An amazing victory by the Texas Rattlesnake. Second time in a row defeating Hercules. What an amazing night. We had some incredible title matches. Things between Dio Sebastian and Steven Dynamite have escalated. We crowned new Intergender Tag Team Champions. And Stone Cold once again picks up the victory via countout against the mighty god Hercules. For those of you watching on Twitch, don't forget to leave a follow. And anyone catching my content on YouTube, like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell because you never know when a new episode of GTW is coming to you. Tune in tomorrow night for GTW Dystopia, live in Paris, France. And don't forget, this Sunday, we got the Grand Rumble, live in Greece. This is your host, Infinite Fantasy, signing out. As always, may your fantasies be infinite.